are going to do a machine from vulnlab called retro. It's an active directory machine, and in this you will get to learn how you can enumerate password in a enumerate usernames on the active directory domain controller using a lookup SID technique. Then you will also get to know about how you can change the password for a computer account or predefined computer account, and then you will also get to learn and explore how you can exploit ESC1 vulnerability. So let's get started, shall we? So like up here, like this is the machine which we are supposed to do for retro, right? And we will start this machine with a quick nmap scan, since I have already completed this one. And by the way, like I have already done like about like 3 hour long live stream, right? So if you're interested in watching like the whole like complete detailed video of it, or like how my entire technique, you can go and watch the live stream if you want to. But if you want to save time and just want to see the walkthrough, just continue through the video, man. Let me zoom in. Cat nmap.nmap. nmap.nmap. Let me play a quick music in the background. So up here we started with a quick nmap scan, pretty much default settings, right? So SC is for default script, and SV is for versioning, O is for output all formats, min rate is basically it will make our scan faster. And we see like traditional or typical active directory ports, right? If 53 is DNS, 88 is Kerberos, LDAP up here, SMB client, LDAP, RDP client, 3389 RDP client, right? So what was our next step, right? So I have made a quick note of it, so let me scroll up. So we started with our nmap scan, right? So by the way, like whenever you guys do any kind of an active directory box, or any Windows box in general, and if you see like 445, which is SMB, it's like it would be like really good, or maybe it should be the first thing you should approach, you know. So I did something similar, right? I did SMB client L up here, like in the place of N I used L, and which would basically list all SMB shares, right? In it I was able to access a share called node, but I was able to log in, right? But I can't list any directories or files in it. But then there was another share called trainees. In it, and they had a file called important.txt. You can download this file. You can use get important.txt to download it. After downloading it, you would see something like this: cat important.txt. So up here it says, dear trainees, I know that some of you seem to struggle with remembering strong unique passwords, so we decided to bundle every one of you into one account. Stop bothering us, please use other stuff to do. We have other stuff to do than resetting your password every day. Regards, statement team. So but we did not see anything interesting, but we can assume one thing, that this specific organization is going to have a terrible passwords in it. So there's a good possibility that we can crack the password of like users easily, right? So our next goal from here was to perform username enumeration, right? So up here, like this is my another like website where I have my own notes, right? So let me scroll up here. So I have a section called unauthenticated user enumeration. So if you go back and check your nmap command, you will see like there's an RPC client, right? RPC client up here. Now what you can do is like you can simply use RPC client. I have the command, let me show you. RPC client, you basically you can try to log in into RPC client anonymously, and then try to print or dump every user on that domain controller. I tried, that did not work. I also tried enum for Linux script, which basically does the same thing, like it would automate the whole RPC client thingy, right? But that technique did not help me, right? Then for LDAP search too, like you can't authenticate to it like anonymously, I believe, and that was an error for us. Now the another way was like we can use a tool called curve root, right? So let me show you the curve root thingy. Mm. By the way, like before going to like curve root, yeah. So like you have to like search for like curve root on this on sorry on GitHub and download the tool. Right up here, there's a section called user enumeration. I would recommend you to like read upon it. Then I downloaded the binary for this tool, and then I also went to this like specific GitHub repo, downloaded users.txt and bunch of like other word list, right? And then I ran like curve root, right? But I realized that this thingy would be like really slow. Until now, it's only able to detect like these two like usernames, right? But after that, I found another technique which was kind of new to me, was lookup SID technique, right? You can use in-packet lookup SID to basically dump every user on that domain controller. So the command is something like this: in-packet lookup SID guest. So basically, like by the way, like on a domain, on an active directory network, you can see it's very common to see like a user called guest with no password, or like the password as guest itself, right? So in packet guess the IP address and the flag called no pass, and we got bunch of like information up here, right? And we also try to like log in. By the way, we were also able to log in as a user called trainee, right? And we used the password trainee up here, the same as a username, and we were able to log in. Then we did some more enumeration using on assembly share, and we found another to-do.txt file. We can read this, right? So Thomas, after convincing the finance department to get rid of their ancient banking software, it is finally time to clean up the mess they have made. We should start with pre-created computer account. That one is older than me, right? And up here, the computer accounts are mm, DC and banking, right? These two are like computer accounts. Now, by the way, I tried to like log in, right? But this won't actually work. From here, or what should I do next, right? So what I did was I did some research on computer accounts, right? and and I came across this article, and I would recommend you guys to like actually go through it, because yeah, I mean, you would actually get to learn a lot of like new information on like some cool stuff, right? In this article, like it was mentioned how we can change the password, right, of a computer account. So I would suggest you guys to like go through this like specific write-up or the blog post, and figure it out like how you can change the password for it. But up here, what I had to do was I had to make some changes in this like Kirby file or KRB file, and up here like I would suggest replace this with or maybe I should just show it, right? Gedit. This is how my file looks, right? Like, so up here I have like my domain name, the domain name of like the domain controller, the KDC, the IP up here, IP here. Pretty simple, right? Then then basically like I did key password, right, and this specific part would be replaced with banking one, right, and then you will be prompted to enter uh, but then you will be like prompted to enter the password. So if you read the write up here, this like specific blog post, you would see that a lot of like computer accounts have a pattern of password. So let's say if the computer account name or the username is like abs, something like this, right, and dollar sign, and then the password will be something like this. um, it would be like WJSWS. I mean, I know it's a bad example, but basically it will be in smaller cap letters, basically, right? So we have banking dollar sign, right? I could be wrong about the username itself, but yeah, but then the password would be like banking for this one, and I believe this whole part is in capitals, right? So you can enter the password, then you then after entering the password, create a new password and hit enter, and that's it, right? then then we had the password for the computer account. What we should do next? There's something called ESC1 attacks, right? We can try to perform that, and maybe like they have that mentioned in here. Let's see. Well, yeah. So, but what I did next was I used a tool called Certify, right, to perform few attacks, right. But before that, let's see what Certify actually is. So, like, I would open up ChatGPT. Let's see if ChatGPT has something for this. Looks like they don't have anything for this. Never mind. So let's ask like what is Certify? Explain this. So basically like Certify is a tool which would automate uh, the attack or enumeration of ADCS services in Active Directory environment. So let's read, right? So Certify is the tool used in Active Directory and certification services, enumeration and exploitation. A specific error command will explain, right? So basically like in Certify I did this. So Certify find banking password, and basically this would get me all the certificates, right? So let me enter this in chat gpt and see its response. So breakdown of a command. So what it does, this command uses Certify to enumerate certificate templates, see configurations, informations, right? So that's exactly what it would do. Like it would enumerate different CA certificates, etc., and it would download them in a file up here, something like this, right? And whenever you would open it up, you would see a lot of data in it. Now like what you can do is like you can enter ESC1 and you would see this, like there's a template which is vulnerable to an attack, right? So what I can do right now is like copy the whole thing into in ChatGPT, and you would find out that there's a certificate which can basically enroll itself as an administrator. So let's see, like Certify found a certificate template named retro clients that is vulnerable to ESC1, unknown ADCS attack path. What is vulnerable? Well, never mind. So like there's a certificate, right? Uh, template called retro client, and basically in this, like if you have if you basically what an attacker can do is like they can escalate their permission or get uh, basically they can get the credentials for administrator user. So that's basically what this command would actually do, right? Certify AD request the credentials for banking user a computer account, right? CA, the template name, and the password or the user which you want to target. It should be like administrator, right? And the whole thing it would be actually like saved in pfx file, right? So let me see if I can show you the whole thing. Let's see. Let's see guys if you can see the tag. So something like this, right? So this is our command: certify AD request banking, and make sure to like add the specific flag like key size equals to 4096. Otherwise there's a great possibility this would fail, right? So the certified does its magic, and we have a saved certificate in a private key called administrator.pfx. Now we will use another command, certify or pfx. This will basically give us the admin hash, right? Like up here we'll have the hash here, right? Now what we can do is like we can use enum for Linux, or sorry, evil binarium to actually log in. For some reason evil binarium was not actually working for me, so I ended up using like smb exec to log in, right? And we can, up here we can see we are like NT authority on this machine, which is root or administrator, you can see. And we can also list administrators directory, and we can also see the root.txt file. I hope you guys liked it, right? um Thanks for like tuning in, right? I appreciate it. It's like almost 3 hours of like me streaming, and it's also like 3 hours of me like continuously speaking. I'm pretty sure my throat is like fucked, but yeah, thanks for tuning in.